Okay, students, so today we're going to be starting a new project focusing on line and shape, and what we're going to use for this project is previously painted paper that we've acquired in our art room over time. It's going to be really fun, and it's very slow-paced and fascinating what you will be able to come up with out of your imaginations just based off looking at these papers. So all you're going to need is a piece of painted paper that I'm going to have on the supply table for you to pick from. There's lots of different textures and colors on these papers, and the only other thing you'll need for today is a Sharpie. So all you're going to do is you're going to start by looking at your painted paper, and you're going to start to try to find shapes or imperfections on your paper. And what you're going to do is creatively start to trace the shapes that you find. Now, remember, we talked about organic and geometric shapes. So as I'm looking at this shape, I could see that it was a circle. I could have traced it into a perfect circle, which would have been a geometric shape. However, I'm going to decide to turn this, what could have been circle, into an organic shape, or a shape that I cannot name using a math term like circle. For example, this one, if I wanted it to be a circle, I could just trace it. Okay, so this would be a geometric shape, and this would be an organic shape. Now I'm going to continue looking for different shapes that I can create using line on my painted paper, and all I'm doing is tracing those things. Now, if you decide that you start to really see something specific in the lines that you're creating, for example, I'm starting to trace this blue paint that's on my page, and I'm starting to notice that it starts to look like the edge of a piece of land that I would find on a map. So if I wanted to, I could add to my drawing by beginning to put other shapes around it that would make it look more like a map. Or I could just continue tracing the shapes that I see, okay? You can also experiment with something that's called concentric line, and all that means is if you take a shape that you've previously traced and you do the exact same shape with a line around it, and it starts to radiate out, repeating the same shape, then you can create concentric line, just like I'm doing here. These are just ideas, once again. So if you are not interested in doing concentric line and having your lines radiate out from your shapes, then you don't have to do that. But these are some things that you may want to add to your work if you like the way this looks. So what we're doing is we're just really sort of free-handing a very line-like drawing. And what I mean when I say that is that it's just made from lines. Okay, so this is what I have so far. So I took my painted paper and I'm just creating something. Now if I'm just looking up here, see this little shape here? For some reason, like, this looks like the man on the moon to me. So as you guys are doing this, you're gonna start to see different objects in your shapes on your painted paper as well. And you can choose to go with it, or you can choose to just make your drawing from lines, okay? But what we wanna do as we're going is we want to make sure we have unity throughout our work. And what I mean when I say that is you don't want to have heavy lines with Sharpie on one side of your paper and then the other side has none. You want to sort of pick and choose where your Sharpie lines are going to go, and you want to spread it throughout your page, okay? We're going to continue doing this today until we feel like ours is ready. And tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to add a clear sheet of paper over this, and we're going to add some more different things on top to add to this work. Okay, so this is really an open project. It's sort of like when you look up in the clouds and you start to really notice that certain things might not look like something at first, but when you really take a deeper look, you start to see things come together. That's sort of like what we're doing with this painted paper line project. So I want you guys, and I'm really loving what I'm doing right now, so I'm sorry I'm not talking so much, but I want you guys to have a fun time with this and try your best and really take your time and see what you can find in your painted papers. And at the end of class, these are going to get stored into our folders for tomorrow until we are ready to add our clear paper. Okay, so have fun and good luck.